Michigan Den, welcome back. Stephen Will here. We are going to get you guys ready for the weekend. We're going to be talking a little Michigan Wolverines football. Huge opponent coming to town, very respected around the world. An absolute powerhouse in Bowling Green coming here tomorrow night. Will, I don't know. I don't know if Michigan can pull this one off. What do you think?
I'm terrified, man.
Yeah.
When you got a team like this coming to town, my biggest worry is how long do you play the starters?
They might take over our stadium. It's probably going to be a sea of orange and brown. I'm just very concerned that this is probably, they're going to end up storming our field. That's what's going to happen.
Yeah, when they leave, like on their way out the door
All right.
at halftime.
All right, guys. Now we're going to get serious. We're going to talk some key players. I want to see some more out of that Michigan O-line. They started to get it together a little bit last week. Finally got over 100 yards as a team. But I need to see a little more. I mean, this is Michigan football. This is the best O-line in college football the last 2 years. When you line up and you run the ball, you should be getting 5, 6, 7 yards a pop against teams like Bowling Green, William.
I agree, man. And I think that's probably what you'll see. Nothing has changed for me. I want to see the same thing. I want to see us throw the ball around. I thought last week we trended upward with our offensive line play week 1. I was a little bit disappointed in the way we played. I feel like we weren't pushing people around enough, for it to be East Carolina. Last week we stepped it up just slightly. I thought we won up front, on both sides of the football. And this week I hope that we see more of the same. But I'm really, really excited about this passing game. Roman Wilson has really stepped up to earn that number 1 jersey, that he was wearing, that we were a little bit disappointed at first. Like, has he done enough to be, be
He's
one of that?
it.
Yeah, he's earned it. So I just want to see more slinging that ball around, man.
I'm going to ask you a question. Hot take here. Where would you rank JJ McCarthy in the other quarterback conversation in college football? Where would you rank him? Because I'll give you my opinion. So I can't even be mad at you about whatever you say. But what do you think? Where would you rank him in the national quarterbacks when it comes to like next year's NFL draft?
Honestly, man, I think I need to see more from him. But I think that he can do anything that you need a quarterback to do, period. He can run, he can pass. He's a leader. He's never too high, never too low. So right now, man, for me, I rank him at the top of the list, man. Like, I'm not going to say that he's number 1, but I don't see anyone doing anything that is making me like, oh, man, I wish JJ could do that, or I wish JJ could do this. So I say at the top of the list, man. I don't see any reason why he couldn't be number 1 when he's will come draft time. What do you think?
I'm gonna put something into the world that's probably not very popular with people outside of Michigan football. I think JJ McCarthy is better than Caleb Williams.
I do too.
At the NFL level, like I see the comparisons with Caleb Williams and Patrick Mahomes, and I'm not trying to take anything away from Caleb, but he's going against just absolutely terrible defenses. I'm not saying like right now JJ isn't as well, but JJ's had that national spotlight where he's shined. You want to talk about the Ohio State game. He had some blunders against TCU. He threw a couple pick sixes and cost us, but what he did the rest of the game was pretty impressive. He can make all the throws.
Yep.
You want to talk about what's the hardest throw to make for a quarterback in the NFL?
That out route from the long hash.
15, 20-yard out. I've seen JJ do that consistently just in 2 games. And I get it. It's been against East Carolina and UNLV. But that doesn't throw out, that we're talking about timing. There's been some good defensive coverage, especially last week. He was zipping the ball into some windows. Caleb Williams is a freak athlete. And I was talking to a buddy of mine who was just kind of saying like, well, an NFL GM, you get fired if you pass on a guy like Caleb Williams. And I was like, I get it. There's pressure to draft the kid because he's a Heisman Trophy winner. He's the hot ticket in town. But when I just sit back and I watch unbiasedly, what I try to do is watch unbiased, and I see JJ making throws and Caleb Williams making throws, it comes off JJ's hand just a little bit different than it does Caleb's.
It's easy. He makes those throws look easy. And that's a very tough throw to make. You don't see him grunting. You don't see him biting down to make the throw. He flicks it out there and he moves on to the next play.
With a smile on his face.
Too easy.
Yeah, his arm strength is there. He's athletic. He's in the NFL. He is not going to be the most athletic quarterback. He's athletic for a college standpoint, if that makes any sense. He's not going to be like a Lamar Jackson, a Justin Fields, any of those guys athletically, but he can move. Don't get me wrong. Like, maybe a poor man's Josh Allen is what I would call him, but a little bit smarter, I would say as well.
Yeah,
that's my. I like that combo. JJ McCarthy, Josh Allen, but I think JJ reads defenses at his stage in his career a little bit better than Josh Allen did.
I could agree with that. I think he's more of a student of the game. I think he's more of a student of just mentally being prepared at this stage of his career. As far as the meditations he does, as far as his preparation and the film work for the game, mechanics, just all of the above. I just watched Josh Allen just throw the ball as far as he can, trying to make plays happen, and still at this stage of his NFL career. So I think JJ is definitely further along. But I just think that they're two different players as far as their running abilities. Like Josh Allen will come down and run you over.
Yeah, he's bigger. He's definitely bigger.
But JJ is more that guy where he has enough speed to where he can scramble a little bit and he can get you a 10, 15, 20-yard gain, but he's going to slide, get down, and not take the hit most of the time.
Yeah, he doesn't have the frame like Josh Allen does, but when Josh Allen's not overly athletic in the NFL, but he can get you a first down on 3rd and 8. I think JJ can do the same thing. He's never going to take 165 yards in the NFL for a touchdown. I mean, unless he absolutely just gashes a team once. But
I think he could, man. Look at Danny Dimes.
Yeah.
That's who he kind of reminds me of, honestly, as far as athletics.
That's a good one.
Danny Dimes, man, he'll break off a 60-yard run sometimes. So
and then trip out on his own 2 feet halfway to the end zone.
Yeah, I think that's what you won't see out of JJ. But
I think JJ could be the first Michigan skill player taken in the first round. Here a little trivia question for you. Let's see if you can know this. This is kind of on the spot. No prep. I probably should have warned you before we came on the show that I was going to ask this. Can you tell me the last NFL skill player that was drafted in the first round out of the University of Michigan? Not an O lineman or a D lineman, receiver, running back, quarterback. Can you name them?
In the first round?
Yes.
Ooh. I don't. Who is it?
Braylon Edwards.
Wow.
That's how long it's been.
Golly.
That's how long it's been. And JJ's going to be a first round draft pick. Where? I don't know. I somewhere in the first 32. It just depends on what he does the rest of the year, what he does at the combine, big games. But that's what we're looking at. It's been that long since Michigan has put a skill player into the NFL draft in the first round.
I mean, that goes to show you where our receiving cores have been, though.
Yeah, we haven't had very good receivers. I like Cornelius Johnson. I like Roman Wilson. Are they first round draft picks?
Absolutely not.
Absolutely. I'm more likely to be a first round draft pick.
Easy. Let's take it easy.
I change the dynamic of a franchise if I get drafted.
The franchise goes in the trash.
Any concerns going into this Bowling Green game, player wise, team wise, scheme wise? What concerns you the most?
Absolutely nothing, man. I just want us to be, continuing to click on all cylinders, continuing to trend upward and stay healthy. Knock on wood. Let's stay healthy, and that's it, man. What about you?
I have a huge concern, William. I have a huge concern that Bowling Green players find out who caters the Michigan breakfast and they poison our food. That's my concern.
That's the biggest worry.
Yeah, that's my biggest worry. But no, not a concern. I'm not hitting a panic button, but we've talked about Donovan Edwards. Like, what's going on there? He just doesn't look like the same explosive player from last year. He only had 12 yards last week. Actually, I don't even think he had double-digit yards last week. So I want to see something out of Donovan this week before we start getting into that Big Ten schedule.
I just don't think we've opened up the playbook yet.
I mean, yeah, we haven't opened the playbook. It's just been basic dive, slant, go pass, nothing crazy. But he's Donovan Edwards. He's an athletic freak. 9 yards. Come on, buddy. I could go out there against UNLV and get 9 yards.
Yeah, I just think what we've been doing, man, has been more up Blake Corum's alley. We're pounding the ball at you, running for tough yards. That's not really what Donovan does. And as we open up the playbook and we do, some more exotic passing plays, maybe him coming out of the backfield, maybe him lining up a slot receiver, why show those things if you don't have to? Let's wait until we get into those important games to show that type of stuff.
Yeah. Night game Kind of weird that Bowling Green got scheduled as our night game for the year. There's literally any other team on the schedule I'd rather see at night than Bowling Green.
Yeah.
But that atmosphere is a little different. You and me went to the Washington night game 2 years ago. It was pretty wild.
Yeah.
Washington was expected to be a lot better than what they were at the time. But what do you think that environment's going to be like?
I think for the first quarter, it's going to be electric. People are going to be really enjoying themselves. I know the students are going to be probably feeling pretty good by the time it gets nighttime. I'm not sure what the theme. Do they have what's the theme?
All I know is that the team is wearing the all blue uniforms. I don't think they're doing like a maze out or anything like that I know of.
Yeah, I think you're going to see, the Michigan fans, showing up like they always show up, but once we start blasting them, I think that you're going to see kind of all of the Bowling Green people who travel, they're going to be leaving at halftime or the third quarter. And
do you think they make it to halftime?
It's going to be tough, man.
Yeah, I mean, if you got a kid on the team, I understand sticking it out. But if you're just a fan and you want to beat traffic, what you're going to want to do is hit 94 east or west, and then that'll split into 275, and you can go 75 home. And that's just some traffic directions for you guys. If you want to beat the traffic, it'll be over first quarter.
Yeah.
Jim Harbaugh's last game of his suspension, he's going to be coming back next week against Rutgers. Talk about who's coaching this game. What do you think we're going to see? Just more of the same, or do you think like this is kind of a debut / hey, maybe I get an interview in the offseason? What do you think?
Honestly, man, I think that all 4 of these games, right? Anybody could have coached. You know what I mean? Like not to take anything away, because I do have a strong understanding of what it takes to coach a football game at the high school level. So I can only imagine what it takes to coach a Big Ten football game. But so all of those things that come into leading as a head coach or a coordinator, I think it is great for these guys to get opportunities. But with that being said, you or I could have went out there and coached these football games with the talent that they have compared to the talent that they're going up against. So we could have drew up some or just showed those guys some Madden plays and went out there and won the game in all seriousness. And I'm not saying, again, not to take anything away from the opportunity to lead a team throughout the week. Harbaugh has been able to be there throughout the week, though, hasn't he? And then he just
up until game day, yes.
So they may or not have got the opportunity to to be in charge throughout the week. But even with game day preps and just getting to the games and setting up and getting everything square, man. Oh, I don't know
right now, William. If I was coach of the NCAA, I wouldn't be ready for some of the blitz packages I could be drawing up. I'm just gonna tell you that. Like, I'd probably be like a hot name for a defensive coordinator. I'm just dialing up blitzes.
Good night.
I'm sending safeties, corners. I'm sending everyone. I'm sending an usher section 39 to go out there and rush the quarterback, or you never know where it's going to be coming from.
If you are the DC, we beat East Carolina by 2 points.
that must be because we got a safety on them and we only scored 2 points. No, but I think you're right. Harbaugh's got his hand in the cookie jar. He's not coaching the team on Saturdays, but it's his game plan, his stuff from Sunday through Friday night. He's coming back. I think he's going to come back with a vengeance, man. I almost not to get too far ahead. We're talking about Bowling Green as much as we can talk about Bowling Green, I guess. But I think Harbaugh's going to blow the doors off Rutgers next week.
I think that's when we're going to truly see those 50-point games that we've been talking about, man. I think that has been a difference. And even personnel, man. Like, is it okay to play this guy? When do we pull these guys? Like, I'm sure they've gotten direction, but I'm sure Harbaugh have gave some hard yeses and some hard no's on some things that they can and can't do.
I'm going to ask you one more question, William.
Talk to me.
Are we going to have an orgy party tomorrow night?
I don't understand it, man. It's so frustrating. Like, why can't Alex Orgy get on the field? Like, I don't just give him a look, man. I don't understand it. I think, he's probably going to be a guy that we see enter the transfer portal. Not that I want that. I don't want that. But they talked about him returning kicks. I haven't seen that. And he hasn't gotten.
They must have been talking about him returning kicks like in pregame warmups, because that's the only time I've seen him fielding a kick.
I don't get it, man.
I'm not sure how he's QB4, because last week we rolled 3 quarterbacks out there, JJ and then Davis Warren, and I can't remember the other kid's name who got hurt on the sidelines from that late hit. You're telling me that Alex Orgy is QB4 on this team, but you hyped him up all season?
Don't get it.
It doesn't make a lot of sense. I don't know. That's why it's kind of hard to take what Harbaugh says seriously sometimes, because he hypes up Alex Orji all offseason. That's all we heard, spring game until, the kickoff thing he mentioned, and he hasn't even been on the field.
Yeah, I don't understand it, man. I do have some buddies that went to that first Michigan game, and they got an opportunity to meet him. And they said that, he seemed like his spirits were up, and he was out mixing and mingling with the fans. And so I don't know, man. Maybe there's something that we don't know, and they're not showing that. I don't know. I just don't understand why a guy like that wouldn't even have a goal line package. You and I have talked about it off air. Like, we get down inside of that 10 or inside of that 5. He comes in. He's got the option to be able to run the ball, hand it off, run boots, and we're protecting JJ in those type of in the trenches.
Yeah.
Type of, so I don't know, man.
All right, William, I got some betting for the people here. I let them down last week. Michigan didn't cover the over. It's not my fault. It's not my fault that this team stopped playing football in the fourth quarter and didn't want to score any points. Yeah. They should have hung 50 on UNLV, but we just chose not to out of respect for the game. So I switched it up a little bit this week. I'm betting on the defense in this one. Kind of. Mm-hmm. Does Bowling Green score 7 points?
Bowling Green's quarterback played at Indiana. Indiana puts points up. So I think that they score a touchdown, but I think we're dipping and dabbling in that same thing. 1 touchdown.
Yeah, maybe 10 points. I'm taking Bowling Green State University. They're over on total points is 6.5. So we need a touchdown and an extra point or 3 field goals. That's what we need from Bowling Green State University. I'm not messing around with Michigan covering a 40-point spread when I don't think they're going to score 40 points, because we're going to hold them to 10. We're going to get up 38 and just coast from there on out. So I'm looking at Bowling Green State University to score 7 points. I think it's a lock. I think they're going to leave their starters in all 4 quarters and use this as kind of like a practice late in the game while we're rolling out second and third stringers. That'll be the time that they get it. 7 points from Bowling Green. I'm asking for 1 damn touchdown. I'm not asking too much. I still want the Michigan D to show up. Don't give up more than 7. That's my request. Maybe I'm being greedy, but I think I'm realistic here.
I think you're spot on.
All right, guys, that is it for our Michigan football episode. If you're not familiar with Will and I, our little Detroit Den logo right there, that is dedicated to the Detroit Lions. That is another YouTube channel. You can search that. We're closing in on 1,200 subscribers there. We do Lion. It's all Lions. We talk about draft stuff, game stuff, post-game stuff, referees, ski masks. We talk about everything on that show. Check that one out. This is the Michigan Den, dedicated to Michigan Wolverines. Leave a comment down below on what you think will happen in the game, who you're looking for, what you want to see, what your concerns are, any betting lines. Maybe help me make a little money. I try to help you guys. I'm 4-1 on the year. I let you guys down last week. It won't happen again. But that is it for today's show. Will, you got anything else?
Go Blue.
Go Blue. We'll see you guys later. We'll do a recap tomorrow night. Bye.